Today, we will be taking a look at 10 facts based on Odessa Cubbage from the Half-Life 2 video game. And guys, we're so close to 100,000 subscribers, I just wanted to release this video to celebrate a beloved character that I always mistreat in my videos. And I figure why not have a whole video based on him to celebrate the 100,000 subscriber milestone, which we're either hitting today or tomorrow, hopefully. And I just want to thank you guys so much. I'll have a video with more details on this, but today, let's take a look at 10 facts. On to number 10, Odessa used to make many different voices when he would die in gmod, until a recent update happened, and now he makes the correct voice when he dies. And this would be very alarming because sometimes you would kill Odessa and he would have a feminine voice, and it would even be a moaning feminine voice. So it was disturbing, to say the least. But thankfully, it is now fixed in gmod. Of course, Odessa was not the only character to have this trait. Many other characters in the game did, but it is now fixed. On to number 9, my friends. Odessa's model is based on a martial arts instructor for one of the game developers. So that means that a real-life person looks like Odessa, and I'll have a picture of him up right now. That's Odessa, guys. Okay, not really. It's what Odessa's face is based upon, but it's just crazy to think that this character that I've mistreated so much actually has a real-life counterpart, which is just awesome. I'm sure that he's a really awesome guy, way better than Odessa, obviously. And Odessa's not the only character, too. Many characters in the Half-Life series have their faces based off of real people, which is awesome. Number 8, deep in the game's files, there's sound clips that do not appear in the game. These sound clips are believed to be belonging to Odessa originally, but he seems to have a much younger and nasal voice, which is odd because there's not even a model associated with these voices. And again, they do not appear in the game. So this means Odessa may have been a younger character. Maybe this is the RPG guy's original voice for all we know. Number 7, the series writer originally found the name Odessa Cubbage in his spam folder and thought that it would make a good name for a character, so he replaced the RPG guy with a standalone character named Odessa. Also, Odessa's only purpose is to give the player the RPG. But giving him this name, I think, makes him a much bigger character. He's not just a civilian or a rebel or a combine soldier. He's Odessa Cubbage. He has a name, a personality. He has a purpose. And I believe it's much more than just the RPG. I think Valve is hiding a few secrets, which we're going to delve into later in the video. On to number 6, Odessa was supposed to have a son named Cody, who hated his name. Again, going into the whole Odessa has a deeper backstory thing, he was meant to have a son. Seriously, which character do you know in Half-Life eventually has some kind of child that would probably flesh out the character's story a bit more? Of course, this never happens. But just imagine what could have been. Odessa could have been a much more prominent character in the series. Going on more about this backstory thing, Odessa's backstory is even deeper than one might think, because originally he was a character known as Odell, who was originally known as Owen. So 3 different name changes, each starting with O. But as we know, Odell was cut from Half-Life 2. He was originally an engineer on the legendary ship, the Borealis. And he was meant to help the character, or Gordon, go into the ship and then escape. And to just think that you and Odessa could have been sidekicks, could have been buddies, and that he would have been that important of a character, it just blows my mind. Odell looked a lot like Odessa, except he did not have the signature mustache, and of course he had a Borealis engineer outfit on. On to number 4, in Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Alex mentions that Odessa is her father by sarcastically saying so to a few rebels.
This is no longer the case. My dad's Odessa Cubbage.
Now this obviously isn't true, as we know Eli Vance is her real father, but it's just funny to think that she mentions this character, which again is seemingly unimportant in the video game. But as we find out by digging deep, there's a lot to discover about this character that one might not even think exists. On to number 3, and this is where things get weird. Odessa can be seen speaking to the G-Man, which alone is eerie to say the least, as he's one of the only 2 characters in the entire Half-Life series to be speaking to G-Man directly, the other being the scientist in Half-Life 1. Why would he be talking to the G-Man? Maybe the G-Man supplied the rocket launchers? Or maybe it's something even deeper, something we could never even imagine, and unfortunately something that we'll never find out. On number 2, the RPG guy which eventually became Odessa was originally supposed to die Odessa was meant to die originally. He would instruct the player on using the RPG and then run inside the cabin, and then be blown to smithereens by the combined gunship's belly cannon. This process, of course, was cut from the game, but it would have been unavoidable. There's nothing the player could have done to save Odessa. The ship would be invulnerable, and Odessa would be killed, as the player would then go and take the rocket launcher near the corpse. But as we know, Odessa is the character he is now, so this does not happen. But now, let's go on to number 1. Odessa is a freaking asshole. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, apparently his accent is fake. According to the guide in Half-Life 2, he has a fake accent. And that's not the only thing, my friends, but apparently his status of colonel is also fake. So he's not even a colonel. He just apparently gloats about being one. And this is evident based on the back of his jacket, which says security. I don't really know much about these kind of things, but I will say I don't think a colonel would be wearing a security jacket. And to make it even worse, based on some dialogue in Half-Life 2 Episode 1, he even took credit for taking down the combined gunship, which originally Gordon, the player, takes down. So he takes the credit for something you do. He fakes his accent, and he's not even a real colonel. Guys, Odessa is a very strange character indeed, and when I learned about this, it blew my mind, because I didn't know most of these facts. I didn't know that Odessa's backstory was so rich and so eerie, and now it makes me wonder, hey, it's no wonder why I don't like this guy. But in all seriousness, guys, Odessa is a great character. I think he's awesome, even though I hate his guts. I just think from a development standpoint that he's a very awesome character. And that, my friends, will conclude this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for being with me for 100,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can go further than that, but my initial goal was this. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop. We're going to take it to the next level, and guys, let's make 2018 legendary. Let's bring this channel back from the dead, and let's see what crazy things we can do together. So that concludes this video, guys. I'll see you in the next video. All the links will be down below. I won't bore you with that, but if you want to comment, let me know what you think. Also, if you want to suggest a video for a future video idea, you can do that as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time, farewell.